Since the beginning of time, the world has been improving and growing. By 2050, we have both lost and achieved a lot. For example, the fast development of technology, so fortunate and highly appreciated in the past, now starts to scare us. What else has changed in the last 35 years? Improvements to health and medicine. Medicine never rested on its laurels. However, since 460 BC, when Hippocrates started his scientific study of medicine and prescribed his analog of aspirin, till the times of Leonardo da Vinci, who achieved serious improvement in anatomy, a lot of time has passed. After that, the field of medicine has been developing exponentially. The process of vaccination was invented in 1796. After that breakthrough, a myriad of vaccinations were developed for almost every conceivable malady. By the beginning of 23rd century, scientists had developed the first vaccine to target a cause of cancer. By the year of 2040, due to several discoveries in medical science, the average life expectancy had reached 90 years. Cancer could be easily found and treated almost in any cases. Diabetes vanished completely. By 2050, a portable doctor robot has been invented that can diagnose 75% of common illnesses. The fate of Christianity. From the very beginning, Christianity had been developing very rapidly. By 100 AD, there were 800,000 Christians on the planet. By the beginning of the First World War, 34.7% of the world's population was Christian, the highest record ever. By 2013, the research had shown that 33% of the world's population practiced Christianity, but the number of atheists had also increased dramatically. Nevertheless, at that time, Christianity remained the most widespread religion in the world. In 2025, the survey had shown that 28% of the world's population had become atheist or non-religious. Hundreds of Christian schools had been closed all over the world due to the lack of believers. According to a recent article in New York Times, faith is out of vogue. 20 years later, many churches stopped practicing Sunday service because of the lack of attendance. Nowadays, 70% of Christians admit that they only go to church once or twice a year. Churches worldwide are having difficulty keeping their doors open. Women in the society. The commonly held belief that women are dependent on men is not always true. Instead, women are trapped by their own biology. The ability to give birth limits the number of partners a woman may have. In earlier times, women were dominated by men because men could have many women, but women were born to only one. The beginning of 20th century was when the birth control movement was started. In 1921, the first permanent birth control clinic was run in Britain. The achievements in this area of study had led to a full freedom of women in many parts of the world. However, women's rights were still depreciated in other places, for example, in Muslim culture. By 2050, due to ebbing of religious influences, younger generations of Islamic women have stopped wearing a yashmak. Also, they have become freer to choose their future husband without family permission. In the nearest future, many old Muslim traditions related to marriage are expected to be broken and become less restrictive. 3 years ago, in 2047, incidents of rape and sexual enslavement had been officially eliminated as a result of the escalation of punishment by law and a more effective work of the world's police forces. That's when the women's rights movement became redundant and therefore is no longer in force. Changes in the educational system. The history of education begins in the ancient times. One of the earliest schools was established in the 2nd century BC in China and in the 6th century AD in England. The concept of having one teacher for a larger amount of students has been used for many centuries and is still used now. It must be said, though, that the subject matter taught has been changing throughout time. For example, in the 18th century, regular schools were only teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic, while children from more wealthy families could afford history, grammar, geography, science, and foreign languages. In the 20th and 21st centuries, the range of subjects has increased. Technological breakthroughs have also influenced the educational system, making the study of mathematics more complex due to the possibility of using calculators and bringing in new subjects such as informatics, graphic design, etc. By the 2040s, the educational system was already fully dependent on technology. Students were working on computers or tablets, mostly online. E-learning became so popular that 60% of students are now studying at home and having online conferences with their teachers. Nevertheless, lower and middle school students still have to attend regular schools. Refinement or degradation of art. Since the Renaissance, when people improved their knowledge of human body, the field of art had made a huge step forward in terms of expressing reality. The depictions of people, animals, and even landscapes became more realistic. Humans became the most important subject matter for most artists. In the 19th and 20th century, it was replaced by Impressionism, which was more focused on an artist's perception of reality and on his feelings. Paintings didn't have to be as precise as in the Renaissance, and the majority of Impressionists were painting with loose, vague brushstrokes. Art was even less real and precise during the period of Old Modernism from 1911 till 2024. Artists were trying to be inventive and simplify their pieces, claiming that the product was not important, only the concept mattered. In 2027, when the art revolution occurred, the era of Old Modernism was termed a lost century for art. The target of new artistic movements is to bring the reality back to art by using graphic designs and 3D holograms of people, landscapes, and other objects. Technology has brought art to a new level. Then again, technology has greatly influenced not only art, but also human culture and lifestyle in general.